Oop, oop. My legs are super pale. New guitar day. Hey, what's up guys? It's Lucas, and everybody loves new guitar day. But today what I'm going to do is share with you 12 tips on how to inspect your new guitar that you've just had shipped to you. Of course, this applies to used guitars and the like as well, and guitars that you're checking out in person. But in this case, I'm going to use a guitar that's shipped to me as an example. And I don't do this very often, but I just recently purchased an actual new guitar. It's an Affinity Jazzmaster HH. Why did you do that, Lucas? You have all these expensive guitars. Why did you buy a cheap guitar? Because I wanted to, okay? Shut up. Jeez. Tip number 1, look at the box for damage. You can do this when your FedEx or UPS or USPS, wherever you are, person shows up. Could be a guy, could be a girl. Could be an Apache helicopter, I don't know. Inspect the box for damage. So what you're looking for is big dents. I mean, expect some dents in the box because it's gotten shipped from who knows where. What you're looking for is like a crushed end or holes in the box, like if somebody drove a forklift through it kind of thing. If you see something like that, that might be the time that you want to pause right there and go, I need you to send this back because this has got shipping damage. It doesn't happen that much. It does happen sometimes. I've had a few bad experiences, but I've done a lot of buying and selling and shipping and receiving, and I've seen a few things, but it's not too big a deal. So I already looked this over because I got it from the guy out of the truck. Got a little bit of a crease thing going on here, but nothing too big a deal. The box is taped up well, as I've come to expect from companies like Sweetwater. Corners all feel pretty sturdy. So the outside box on this guitar passes the test. Let's get in the box. I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Don't just like cut into the side of the box. Cut where the box is meant to open. Oh look, a nice thank you card from Sweetwater. Almost as if they want to sell me more things. All right, I admit I'm a sucker for stickers. That's gonna go on something. This brings us to step 2. So step 2 is unpack everything and make sure you save everything. You wanna make sure you don't throw away anything important like wrenches and stuff like that. In the event that something inside of the box is damaged and you wanna send it back, or you need to send it back for whatever reason, you wanna have all the original shipping stuff because it just makes your life way easier. In some places actually won't take it back unless you ship it back exactly the way it came. Keep everything, at least until you make sure that everything's good. Then you're all right. Let's pull everything out. Ooh, I got some fireballs. I love fireballs. This is an example of great packing material. It's like rigid foam stuff. Keeps the guitar from getting banged around. Keeping that. Always keep shipping stuff like this. If you're gonna ship a guitar or something else later, it really helps to have just like a trash bag or two full of shipping material. Stuff's expensive if you try to go buy it. Box inside a box. That's a good thing. You want box inside a box. Now we're down to the Squier box, or Fender box. Fender box with a Squier in it. Here we go. So I just went ahead and looked down in the box there, and there's nothing else down in there. So everything related to the guitar is gonna be either taped up in here or like inside one of these pieces or something. So in fact, you can see most of it's taped to the headstock there. Well, not taped, rubber banded to the headstock. This is kind of step 3. Find your warranty, your wrenches, etc. All the goodies. Got a couple of Allen key wrenches, or hex keys, whatever you want to call them. One is for the truss rod, one is for the bridge saddles, I would assume. What I like to do is try and put all the stuff back in the boxes that it was inside. I think there's something in here. Ooh, silica gel. I'm gonna eat this. Oh no, it says don't eat. I guess never mind. This shipping stuff goes inside that box, because that box goes inside that box. Makes things easier if you have to send something back. Carefully take something like a utility knife. Again, it helps if it's sharp, because you can just kind of barely do it. And just cut the tape just so that you can get to the inside of the guitar. You don't want to scratch the guitar. Or maybe you do, I don't know, you can if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. We got our little foam patty sides off in the guitar box. It helps if you kind of try to just work it down a little bit at a time, giggity. That way you don't rip the condom thingamabob. So in case, again, you need to send it back. This is a nice touch. There's a piece of styrofoam on the switch to keep the switch from getting smashed in. Good idea. Now we're on to step 4. So what you want to do first is just visually check the guitar for like dents, scratches, defects, anything funky. There's probably gonna be some shipping crud on there. That would be It'd be weird if there wasn't. Body looks good. Not seeing any cracks or dents or anything, just some little pieces of shipping material. Check out the pickups and the hardware. Looks nice and clean. There's still plastic on the pick guard. Check out the neck plate. That's actually a really nice looking neck plate. Everything looks good on the neck. I don't see any weird spots or anything. Tuners look good. Headstock looks good. Cool, cool, cool. All right, visual inspection done. Step 5. We're gonna do basically the same thing we just did, but instead of with our eyeballs, we're gonna use our hands. Feel around the contours, the edges of the guitar. You're looking for anything that stands out, like a bump, a ding, anything that's you wouldn't expect to be there. I do see just a hair of a little crack right here in the finish of where the neck heel is. That's not a big deal to me because I have plans for this guitar. That's just something you might want to be aware of. That's in no way going to affect the performance of the instrument, but it's there. Go up and down the neck. Feel for any dents or dings, scratches. It's a really good feeling neck. It's better than I expected. Same thing, headstock. Just feel around for anything strange. Feels good. Oh yeah, baby. Step number 6. We're gonna turn the knobs and the switches, the tuners, everything, just to make sure that it all spins and nothing feels stuck or weird or anything like that. Volume knob, nice smooth taper, nothing feels weird. Tone knob, nice smooth taper. Switch feels sturdy. Just gonna turn the tuners a little bit. Feels all right. Step number 7. We're going to check the neck relief. If you don't know what I mean when I say neck relief, basically, if you look at a guitar this way, and you look from basically the nut to the saddle, you will see that the string is not a perfect perpendicular line. It's on a little bit of an angle. It's a very small angle, because if it was a big angle, you wouldn't be able to play the guitar. But you want a little bit of what's called neck relief, which is basically a little bit of bow in the neck. Just a little. So the easiest way, I think, to check the neck relief is to put your first finger here on the first fret on the low string. You can do any string, I like to use the low string. Take your pinky finger, put it on the 14th fret, or the 12th fret, but I usually do 14, on that same string. And with your first finger here, kind of just tap around the 7th fret area, and you should see the string bounce a little bit. If it doesn't bounce, if it's just on the frets, then your neck is too straight or backbowed. If you got a lot of bounce, then your neck has got too much relief in it and you need to straighten it out, which is what the truss rod is for. Now we're going to move on to the more monotonous parts. This is step 8. So what you want to do for step 8, get your plectrum, or if you play with your fingers, that's fine too. I like to use a pick. And you're going to check every single fret. You're going to play chromatically every note on the guitar and listen for buzz. The guitar does not need to be super in tune, it just needs to be close. You know what, I'll get a tuner in tune anyway. You don't have to worry about it being super in tune, but you do want to get it kind of in the neighborhood because that does affect the amount of pull on the neck, which will in turn affect your neck relief. So if the guitar is like no tension on it, then your neck relief might seem like too low. You might think, wow, why is the strings? Because there's no tension on the neck. Easiest way to do this, don't do it too fast, is just play every note one at a time. So what you're listening for is fret buzz. Just do that with every note. So I'll speed this next part up. Step 9 is to check the nut height and cut. What you want to do to check the nut height is you just take your first finger on your picking hand and just press down on the 3rd fret. And then behind that, take your other first finger, or whatever finger you want to, I use the first finger, and just kind of press down on the string a little bit. This is kind of a similar thing to checking the neck relief. You want to see just a little bit of bounce in there. If there's no bounce, then your nut is cut too low, and you're probably going to get some buzz on those first few frets and or on the open string. If it's got too much bounce, then it's going to be hard to get a good in-tune sounding chord up here. You know, you're looking for something in the neighborhood of like a business card. So we're going to check the nut cut. You're looking for a straight line basically. You don't, if the nut looks like the cut is this way a little bit, one way or the other, that's not a good thing. That's going to hurt you in tuning stability. The other thing you can do is kind of just press down behind the string a little bit. All right, and the strings more or less came back to pitch. If you do that and it goes real sharp, then you might have some nut binding issues. Step number 10, now we're going to check the electronics. We're gonna plug the guitar in. Doesn't have to be the world's greatest amp sound, although I do have the world's greatest amp sound because this Helix kicks some serious booty. All right, volume control works, check your tone. Tone control works, awesome. Put it in the position with both pickups. Everything works. Neck pickup. Okay, awesome. The switch seems fine, the controls seem fine, nothing scratchy, everything works the way it's supposed to. That's perfect. All right, so when we get to this next step here, step 11, I'm not gonna do this yet, but I will tell you about it. But if everything works, and it does, then what you wanna do is go ahead and put a new set of strings on it. I don't care if it's a new guitar and you just got it and, oh, but it's got new strings on it. No, dude, just put a new set of strings on it. They're like $5. And the reason you wanna do that is because you want to check the intonation, and when you check the intonation on a guitar, it's pretty difficult to do it unless it has a new set of strings on it, because you might be working off a variable that you don't know. If you don't know how to check the intonation, there's a bazillion videos on how to do that, but it's essentially just like make sure that the 12th fret harmonic is the same as the 12th fret fretted / the same as the open string note. And those are little minor adjustments that you make here at the bridge. Worst case, you could take it to a tech and have them look at it, and they should be able to tell you if the intonation's out within like, you know, a minute or something. When I get to that, I'll show you that, but I'm gonna do some stuff with this guitar that's gonna involve me taking it apart and doing some things. And then step 12, final inspection, which is just play the guitar for a few minutes. Just sit down and mess with it. Check it out, see if it feels good, see if anything jumps out at you. There's some stuff you're just not gonna find until you sit down and play the guitar. You just won't know. There you go, that's my 12 steps on how to inspect a guitar that is new to you and has been shipped to you, or you bought it from a store or whatever, just to kind of go over and make sure everything's cool. I hope that's been helpful and informative. If you have any questions, by all means leave them in the comments section. Please like and subscribe, and or if you want to leave some mean comments like people tend to do, that's fine. I guess whatever floats your boat, bro. I will give you another video shortly that is an actual in-depth review of this guitar and all the cool stuff that it will do. And then I'm gonna do stuff to it. Until next time, I have been Lucas, and I will catch you later.